Welcome to springtime in Northern California. Flowers are blooming, the waterfalls are running, the air is just right for photography.
Shasta, California. Lakes, rainforests, and mighty, mighty volcanoes. This is home to some of the most decadent waterfalls in the nation. A landscape where the horizon disappears and the mountains soar into the clouds. It's almost too easy. Make your way into the wilderness and the camera can do no wrong. Welcome to the Promised Land. There's pretty much no other place like California in all of the United States. They've built a reputation for trailblazing their own cultural revolution, which other places around the world are always trying to catch up to. But California is also quite unique from a landscape photography perspective, and that was the genesis of this expedition. Shasta, California gets its name from the colossal volcano, which pretty much takes up the entire sky when seen from any given direction. After collecting snow all winter, Mount Shasta pretty much becomes a waterfall-making machine during the spring meltdown. Now, this is where things get interesting, because this part of California is filled with underground springs, many of which manifest straight out of the forest walls to create a very special breed of waterfall. And this takes us to our first destination, Mossbrae Falls. Now, Mossbrae was a bit of a boutique secret for many years, but like all things internet, word has gotten out to the landscape photography community. As a place becomes more popular, I think it's important to be able to put your own unique spin on a location. In this case, I thought it would be fun to do a little building. River stones in this area are volcanic in nature, which means their mineral content offers up a huge variety of colors. If you are both stubborn and stupid enough to spend the entire day knee-deep in freezing glacier water, you might just be able to build something memorable for the camera. Wait for it, here comes the epic low-level flying machine footage of my buddy Dave looking like a stud with his Phase 1 system. Okay, in all fairness, Dave did buy everyone pizza later that night. In conclusion, Mossbrae is nothing short of a world-class location. And even though I'm pretty sure I scorched the nerve endings in my toes to bring these images to life, the final results are like nothing else in this world. And if you're a Star Wars nerd like me, you might just be able to convince your Jedi girlfriend to levitate a few stones for the camera. No idea how she got that lightsaber through airport security, but I've learned not to ask about these things. In the interest of refraining from glacier water for a day, the next part of our journey takes us to Crags State Park. This destination is dominated by a series of dramatic rock towers which rise above Emerald Forest as far as the eye can see. When a series of rainstorms rolled through, our lenses were treated to a dramatic display of moody atmosphere brewing across the peaks. So much for staying dry, but a good rainstorm does bring a lot to the table. Add a splash of color from the setting sun, and you have the makings of a great new piece for the portfolio. While we're still on dry land, it's also fair to mention that Mount Shasta itself is a rather impressive specimen in front of the lens. There's really no rhyme or reason as to where to shoot this mountain from because it's pretty much the biggest thing in the sky. So it pays to set a few minutes aside each evening to aim your lenses at the horizon and see what happens as the last light closes down on this sleeping giant. And when I say last few minutes, of course I mean mad dash to get to your location before the magic hour colors close off. All right, here we are. You've made it halfway through. Thank you for not falling asleep. Do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. It only takes a second. I know you can do it. All right, cool. Back to the show. No trip to Northern California is complete unless you visit the legendary Burnie Falls. This colossal waterfall takes advantage of Northern California's porous geology. The volcanic basalt bedrock soaks up water like a sponge, and for every river which flows on the surface of the land, an additional river flows directly beneath it underground. When the river reaches a spillway, groundwater emanates straight out of the canyon walls, creating thousands of mini cascades which make up this amazing panoramic waterfall. Once you're satisfied with your wide-angle images, there is no end to the details you can capture when you hook up a good telephoto lens and start isolating interesting little compositional sections of the falls. This is one of my favorite characteristics about this location because I'm a big fan of getting unlimited waterfalls for the price of one. And I just think telephoto lenses are really cool. We have one last place to visit before it's time to pack up and go home. Much like Crags State Park, McCloud Creek Open Space is a popular spot for summer hiking and fishing. It also has a few really nice waterfalls, which are worth investigating. And apparently, once again, my buddy Dave gets to look like a boss with yet another epic flying machine shot. But that's okay, because tonight he's buying steaks. Upper McCloud Falls can be accessed by a really easy hike. And while it doesn't possess the intricate details of Burnie or Mossbrae, it still makes for a really nice image, especially if Mother Nature is feeling generous and sends you a really nice sunbeam. Most people probably don't know this, but the legendary Mossbrae Falls has a secret cousin hidden deep in the forests of Shasta County. Given my non-disclosure agreement, I'm not at liberty to discuss the location. But after endless driving, a 12-mile mountain bike ride, and a Michael Douglas meets Kathleen Turner Romancing the Stone bushwhacking machete jungle hike, I can assure you that it is one of the most spectacular displays of falling water in all of America. As always, I am genuinely grateful for all the support we receive from our viewers. And now, at the risk of careening down the rapids of shameless self-promotion, I will say that every image which appears in this episode is available for sale on my website. They are big, they are bold, and they would definitely look amazing in your home or office. Be sure to check out the show notes below for a link to my website. There, you will also discover all kinds of fantastic images from other destinations across our beautiful, bright blue planet. As always, friends, thank you so much for joining us. If you had fun on our little adventure today, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of cool new adventures coming up, and I can't wait to take you along. In the meantime, stay sharp, and always remember, the camera will take you places you never imagined. Hey, lucky jacket, one take. After 50 successful missions with my DJI Mavic Pro, I was starting to think I was going to be the first pilot in history to never crash his flying machine. Yeah, not so much.